The sum of the number of letters in the surah is 120, which is a multiple of 8.
One, the number 19. For example, the word Allah appears 2,698 times in the Quran. If we multiply the number of surahs in the Quran by the number of verses that describe Allah, we get 2,698, which is a multiple of 19.
Three, the total number of verses in the Quran is 6,346, with 6,234 numbered verses. The total number of verses in the first and the last 17 surahs in the Quran is 382. In addition, if we count the words in the first half of the surah, verses 1 to 15, and compare them to the number of words in the second half, verses 16 to 30, we find that they're equal, 140 words in each half. Five, the number 29 in Surah Al-Qamar. Interestingly, the word Qamar, which means moon, occurs in this surah 27 times. (54 plus 55), we get 109. If we subtract this number from the total number of chapters in the Quran, 114, we get 5. Interestingly, Surah Al-Qamar is the 5th surah after the last Muqatta'at surah of the Quran, which is Surah Al-Baqarah. Furthermore, if we count the number of letters in the first, middle, and the last verse of the surah, we find that they are equal, 19 letters in each verse. Seven, the number 114 and the forward and backward counting. Interestingly, if we count the number of chapters in the Quran, starting from the last chapter, Surah Nas, and go backward, the result is 114. This phenomenon is called the backward counting, and it represents the completeness of the Quran. In addition, if we count the number of chapters starting from the first chapter, Surah Al-Fatiha, and go forward, the result is also 114. This phenomenon is called the forward counting, and it represents the order and sequence of the Quran. The word Sab'a, which means 7, appears in the Quran 147 times, which is a multiple of 7. Furthermore, the Quran states that Allah created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, and then established on the 7th day. This account of creation is similar to the Genesis account in the Bible, but shows that the concept of the 7-day week is older than Judaism or Christianity. For example, there were 8 young men in the story of the cave. In addition, the 8 verses of the surah contains a reference to the number 8, and I revealed it to you. Ten. The number 10 in Surah Al-Isra. Interestingly, the word sab'in, which means 70, appears in verse 5 of the surah. This verse states, "And from the earth."